Hi everyone, this is Farah and this is Leading by Design, conversations about design and leadership. Today I have the pleasure of talking to Angela Pech. Angela is executive in business onboarding at NAP. Today we are going to talk about leadership, tough decision making, customer experience, and many more. So stay tuned. Hi Ange, and thanks for being here with me today.
Thanks for having me, Farah. Super excited about our
Me too.
conversation.
Me too. All right, let's get it started by giving us a little bit quick a snapshot of your role. What business onboarding actually involves?
Good question. So, business onboarding is in my title, but actually, I look after a lot more than just business onboarding. So, I've got four teams that I manage at the moment, two subdomains, which are Agile Squad Delivery subdomains across business onboarding, profile maintenance, arrangements, like how we connect customer products to arrangements together as well. And then I've got two other teams that are more sort of operational or run type teams. One is a customer data quality team, which is a relatively new function in my space and something that we've needed to build because we need to get better at managing data quality.
Mhm.
When it relates to our customers, it's super important that we get it right and maintain it correctly. And then the last team that I have in my world is the BAU or business as usual support team. And I like to describe them as a bit of a restaurant menu. They have a selection of things that they do on behalf of the domain, but probably the most important thing that that team does is supports our bankers with queries every day. So hundreds of queries that we answer every month to make sure our bankers can safely and easily onboard our new customers and maintain them. So that's a bit about my world.
Nice. No wonder you're always busy. Let's get into your career. What were the key turning points that got you where you are today?
Yeah, I would say there are two big moments in my career. And look, and I've been at NAB for 31 years now, so
Oh wow,
I've
I
worked.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm a career banker, so straight out of high school, joined the bank and went, I'll just do this until I figure out what I want to do. And here I am, 31 years later, and I
Oh.
love it. Like NAB, I love working for NAB, and NAB has been good to me. But there were two key moments in my career, and that was quite a big gap between those two moments too. One was a particular leader that I had at the time when I was working in home lending product
Mhm.
in the bank and we were working on project delivery. He was a tough love manager. Like he pushed me really hard, taught me a lot, um, and made me believe in myself and
Mhm.
made me believe that I could do more. But I would say it was a bit of a father figure almost, but really, really pushed me hard, and it was tough love. But I think you need those people who
Yeah.
really bring out the or surprise you with what you can do and
Yeah.
what you can achieve. Now, he never would have said I did a good job. He's just not that guy. But when I left, he told me that I did a good job. But it was one of those ones where you go, he just taught me so much and really pushed me hard. And I think he was one of the most pivotal people in my career who made me who I am today. Not the type of leader I wanted to be, but he was really
Have you
pivotal in
told
my
him
career.
that? Have you told?
I
Yeah.
have. We joke about it now, and he jokes about coming to work for me one day. The other time in my career was probably more recently, where you've got those people who just believe in you and back you, and quite the opposite of the other leader that I had. This one was more of a nurturing, encouraging, and when you possibly don't always believe in yourself or back yourself, they do and make you believe
Mhm.
that you are good and that you are good at what you do and that you could be a good leader. That was probably my other one that was my other pivotal moment in my career, but two very different approaches from two
Yeah.
different leaders, but had a massive impact on me and,
Mhm.
ultimately helped me get to where I am today. Yeah. So they would be my two.
That's amazing. I love it when, it's you should like people. if you find someone like that in your career, it's very lucky, to teach you, to care about you. I've been lucky actually. I had one like that. Like if I want to think of one person who changed and gave me that confidence, who believed in me, yeah, straight off the bat, one person comes to my mind. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it would be interesting if people could go back and tell those people, you changed my career.
The impact
That's
that they've had
huge.
on you. And they're the type of people that like you should invest in staying close to, I think, as
Oh,
well.
definitely,
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
yeah,
this
yeah.
something in you when you don't see it and you need to see it. So that's very powerful. Was there a moment where your career really accelerated and changed direction?
I don't think so. I think I've had many, many, many different roles in my time
Mhm.
at NAB, and I've worked across frontline, operations, technology, projects, customer journeys, product. Um, and I think each one of those has gotten me closer to figuring out what I'm good at and what really drives me and what I'm passionate about.
Mhm.
So if I was to give advice to anyone, it's like, don't settle in a role just because it's
Mhm.
comfortable. Try stuff, and you never
Mhm.
know what you might come across and go, wow, I'm really good at that, or wow, I really enjoy doing that thing.
Mhm.
Um, and it can also build out the most amazing skill set and toolkit, right, which makes you more and more marketable
100%.
for future roles as well. So yeah, I loved the variety, and ultimately it was going through all of those different things to figure out what really drove me and got me excited and what I was passionate about. So um, yeah, no one thing really accelerated it. It was like opportunities were
Gradual.
created, but just
Yeah.
gradual, like picking different things and trying something new to figure out what I was really passionate about. And I found that. I found that about 10 years ago, what I really loved. So yeah,
Nice. Is that what you're doing now?
delivering change for customers. Like, yeah, being
100%.
yeah, project delivery, agile delivery, but ultimately designing new experiences and making banker better and easier for customers. So like being at the forefront of actually delivering change into the hands of our customers was what I loved.
I agree with you 100%. And when I got to design, I thought it's the um, tools and the ways of working draws me to it. But when I saw the look on the face of a banker or a customer when I was testing a new feature with them, and they were like, wow, when is this going to come out? This makes my life way easier. Then that was a turning point. I was like, I don't care about that part. This is the part I love,
So
you know?
rewarding to go something that you've
Mm.
created that like people are excited to be able to
Yeah.
get their hands on. So rewarding. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the advice you've given, how the fact that you should try different things and that broaden your skill set basically. Was there any surprises along the way? Was there anything that you thought you don't like and actually by doing it you realize you like it, or the other way around?
Absolutely. I've always said, like I said for years in my career, I'm never going to end up in a role in risk or working on like regulatory type changes. And I was like, no, no, over my dead body, am I ever going to do that? Sounds awful, and I'm not going to enjoy it. It's not close enough to the customer and making our lives better. But actually, I landed myself in a role where regulatory change was part of the role. Um, and the thing I learnt to love about it is that you can bring a customer into a regulatory change. It's like finding that balance between how do we stay compliant, but how
Mm,
do I make it a good experience or the least impact on the experience possible? And that's
mhm.
like a really cool problem to solve. And if you get that right, you
Yeah,
can be compliant and you can have to do additional things, but you can do it in a way that it doesn't feel hard or difficult to
of
do. It's
course.
not
Yeah.
always possible, but like when you can get those two right, you go, oh, cool, that was good. So
Yeah.
working in risk. and regulatory type work. Is there you go. That was my big sort of, oh, I can do this and it's not so bad after all.
Yeah, I'm dealing with the same problem, or not problem, challenge as you said. And actually, I've thought it's gonna be dry, and I've felt the same
Mm,
as you to start with. But I realize people are more on board to be creative because by people I mean like my leaders, execs, and all that, because they know it's challenging. People don't really want to provide extra information or whatever it might be,
that's
and
right.
they realize the importance of being creative to collect that information and bring the customer along the journey. So it can actually be a,
It can work.
yeah,
And
it
yeah,
can
and
work.
it's a bigger problem to try and work your way through. But when you do it, you go, well, yeah, it can be done. Yeah,
True.
balancing commercial with risk and experience.
That's right. Early on, what did you think leadership would be like versus what it is now, now that you are in the leadership role?
Yeah. I don't think I spent too much time thinking about this early on. But actually reflecting on this, I would say I wasn't aware that I was doing it, but as I worked with different leaders throughout my career, mentally I was noting down what are the attributes and styles that I liked of those different leaders and what were the things that I didn't like, and going, if I'm going to be a leader one day, these were the things I'd like to be and to not be,
Mhm.
as a leader. So yeah, I don't think I consciously ever thought about it, but actually mentally I was just like noting and going, didn't like that, yes, like that, I'd like to be like that,
Mm.
one day, or yeah, it is kind of how I think about it. And I think that's actually what shaped me into the leader I am today, is taking the good from things that I like from my leaders that I've worked with,
Mm.
and making sure, or trying my hardest not to do the things that I didn't like in leaders that I worked
Uh-huh.
with in the
Yeah,
past. Yeah, yeah.
that's a good
But
answer. I like it.
I think that the thing I always keep front of mind, is the success triangle. I'm like, if I'm being really clear with my people and we have a clear vision and a clear strategy and they've got clarity on their role and what's required of them, they're capable, they've got the skills to do the role and the
Mhm.
tools that they need to do the role, and that they're motivated, like they enjoy what they're working on. So clear, capable, and motivated. I'm like, I always keep that front of mind and going, am I doing that? Am I being that for my team? Am I helping to create that clarity, helping to motivate, helping to make sure that they're capable? Then I'm like, I feel like that's the secret sauce to being a good leader.
Good on you. I think that's a great one. And I think you are being successful, Ange, because I attended a couple of meetings yesterday in your team. People were so happy, laughing, delivering. I was like, I haven't been in a room with that much laughter for a
That
while.
is such a good point. And I should add that, like, you can't have four sides to a triangle, but if I had a square, fun is actually number one. Make sure you're having fun at work. Don't
Yeah,
take it all too seriously. Have fun.
yeah.
Is so, so, so important. Be able to have a laugh with each other, at each other, but have fun.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that yesterday, and that was refreshing actually. No, that's
Yeah.
great. All righty, let's get into a bit of this topic of decision making and making tough calls. So your role sits between risk, growth, and customer experience. How do you make decisions when those collide, a kind of?
Oh my goodness. And I feel like this is our world every day, right? And I talked a little bit before about working in regulatory
That's right.
type change, that you want to try and balance customer, commercial, um, and compliance. And sometimes, and this has absolutely been a reality, sometimes you have dates that you have to hit. You've got compliance dates that you cannot miss. And while you do try and balance them and keep customer front of mind at all times, sometimes you do have to make the tough decisions around trading off experience for compliance, like hitting your dates, which is never easy. And Farah, you'd appreciate this in your role, right? Where you're Like you're all about the experience and all about the customer, and it'd be tough hearing sometimes that I'm sorry, we can't do that because we've got to hit this date. But I
Yeah.
think even if you can't do all of those three things really well at the same time, that's okay. What we try and do is you try and come back quickly
Mm.
afterwards. So once you've gotten it in, try and come back and fast follow to make
Mm.
the experience better. Don't just drop it and go, well, that'll have to do. Come
Mm.
back and optimize it and enhance it and keep working on it until you've got the experience that you want. But yeah, I feel like it's a daily decision
Yeah.
process is balancing those things. But if we start with customer, we're on the right track and then we work back from there.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good way to think about it. And I believe we are getting better at that at NAB. I've been there 8 years and I've seen how much we progressed with our like always not forgetting the backlog and always have that
Yeah.
improvement.
Yeah.
Great. Can you walk me through a tough decision that the clear or the right answer wasn't clear? What factors mattered the most in that moment?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I think there's always a right answer. It may not be the answer that we want, but sometimes you have to decide what's more important. Is it in the within those boundaries, right, of customer compliance
Mm,
and commercial, like what are the and time and money are factors as well, right? So you got that playing in there as well. Um, you just can't be non-compliant. So you
mm,
have to, and we had to do this with some AML changes that we were working on, where we just had to hit the dates. We knew it wasn't the best possible experience that we were putting in, but we knew what a good experience was, and so we defined that and worked out that we couldn't get there in time. And it's like I said before, it's like you've just got to make sure that you come back
mm,
um, and finish the job and get the job done. But that some of the tough moments being a leader, right? When you know that you're making the right decision for the right reasons, but not everyone will necessarily agree that you are. But that's part and parcel of the job. It's like, but you weigh up all the factors, weigh up what's most important, balance
mm.
what's the most important thing, and then you just have to go down that path. But yeah, make sure you come back and follow through on the thing that you've had to leave behind when making that tough decision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So along the way, as you mentioned, there might be people who don't agree with your decision, probably. How
totally.
would you convince them? What conversation would you have with them to bring them along the way?
I think you've got it. So spend the time listening to get people's perspectives. That's really important. Get a balanced view, and then you explain why. So make the decision, but explain why you made that decision and why you had to go down that path.
Mm-hmm.
And I think and explain that you're going to come back later and make it better. But I think explaining the why and listening to people to at least hear their perspectives is really, really important. So that they understand. Don't just make the decision and don't explain why. That's
Wow.
like not a good idea.
No, I
You'll
100%
lose
agree with
people and
you.
they'll lose motivation
Yeah,
if they don't understand the
100%.
why.
People sometimes want to be heard and acknowledged. That's all they
Yes,
want, That's
everyone wants to
100%
be
true.
heard, definitely, or know that they've at least been listened to and
Mm.
why we couldn't go down that particular path.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. How do you handle pressure of getting those calls right? It must be, mentally exhausting. It's stressful.
Yeah, and you do build up, like you absolutely do build up muscle in this department over time. The more decisions you make,
Interesting.
the more you back yourself as well, and you learn from doing it the wrong way or a bad way, and you change that and do it next time. So I think reflection is a huge part in decision making as well as going, am I happy with what I did, how I went about it, and would I do anything differently next time?
Mm,
So I'm a daily reflector on my day. Every day I reflect and go, how did the day go? What went well? What didn't go well? What would I do differently next time? It's super, super important for your own personal growth to reflect, I think. and for self-awareness as well. But to answer your question, I would say one day at a time
Mm-hmm.
in making decisions. Don't let it overwhelm you.
Mm-hmm.
Take one day at a time, one step at a time, one decision at a time. Listen to your people.
Mm-hmm.
Get a balanced perspective so you're hearing the views and opinions of different people. And this can slow you down sometimes doing that, but I think it's well worthwhile because it will make you decide better. You'll make better decisions when you've got a balanced view of different perspectives from people. And if it's a really big decision, sleep on it. This is my secret recipe. Sleep on it. Nothing feels so big and hard and difficult or impossible with a good night's sleep. And you'll make better decisions when you wake up in the morning. And I find I dream about things when I'm sleeping and I wake up and I've got the answer as
Oh,
well.
that's pretty good. That's pretty interesting.
At 2 o'clock in the morning, it's like, I've got it.
Okay, guys, let's go to bed. We'll make decision.
Yeah, but don't make quick decisions if it's a big deal and if it's gonna have big impacts. Like sleep on it and talk to people and yeah,
No, that
and
makes
no.
sense.
Mm,
100%.
mm.
I'd like to go back to the reflection part you mentioned.
Mm.
So do you have any rituals? Do you write it down, or is just while you're going home, you just think about it? How does it work for you?
Yeah, and look at different. Apparently, the best way to do this, I'm told, by a professor at Melbourne Business School, is to write it down in a journal. And he
Okay.
said it's even great to go back over the years and go through it. Um, I have a long drive home. I live quite a fair way away from the office, and so my reflection is sitting on the train, or it's sitting in the car and unpacking the day that's just unfolded. And so I kind of mentally unpack it and think about like I said, the what, how did it go?
Mhm.
What worked well, what didn't work well, what would I do differently next time? Yeah, that's like I do it in my drive. I would write it down actually if I had the time and opportunity, but you got to make the most of the time in the day that you've got. And I figure while I'm in the car for an hour, that's a good use of time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%
yeah.
I
But
agree.
reflection's so important.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good one. That was a good one. I like that. The fact I like the fact that you're making it like a ritual every day. Like I do that sometimes when things go wrong, but not every day. But I think,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I'll look on. I would. There would be days that I don't do it as well, but I try to. I try to most days. Yeah. But you're
Good.
right. I feel like the moments when you particularly should do it is when something hasn't gone well. That's
Mm,
the that's the most important time to reflect. But we should also think about the things that have gone well. Why did it go well? What would I
exactly.
repeat
True.
next time? Mm,
Yeah, true.
yeah.
100%. All righty, great. Let's get into leadership and women in leadership. What skills become more important when you become a leader, and what stop mattering?
This is a tough one because I feel like they like the things that come to mind, right, are empathy, like in terms of more important is empathy. But I'm like, no, that's actually important the whole way through. Whether you're a leader, whether you're a team member, we should all show empathy towards people. But I think it becomes more important as a leader to show empathy towards your team. I think spending the time to get to know your team, understand what drives them, what motivates them, what makes them tick, what do they like, what do they not like, I think is really important as well. And that's both in a work context and in a personal life context as well. I think that's really important. Just listening to your people, reading the physical and verbal cues that they send you, and if you know your people right, you'll be able to see when they're having a good day and see when they're not having a good day or something's going on which is affecting them at work. So you can like try and like
Mm,
talk to them and understand what's going on to make sure that they're okay. So I think that's really important as a leader. Um, and just communication. Super,
mm,
super important as a leader. You do a lot of talking
yeah.
as a leader, but
Yeah.
that's super important. Things that if I think about things that stopped mattering, I you have to come to a level of acceptance that you're not always going to be able to please everyone. And I think
Okay.
I was type of person. I do like to please everyone if I can. Like I like to keep everyone happy, and but you can't all the time.
Yeah.
That's just a reality, and so you have to learn to accept that. So that was a big one for me. Another one is you become, I feel like in a lot of leadership roles, you become a lot more time. You don't have, you've got a lot going on, and so you don't have a lot of spare time. And so perfection is something that perhaps you can't always seek as a leader, even though you might like perfection. Sometimes you
Yeah.
have to go, well, close enough is actually good enough,
Yeah.
and think about where you're investing your time versus the value and that it's going to return on your time, your investment in the time.
Yeah.
And then and then Excel skills, they stop mattering for you in a leadership role. Don't need to get into the old formulas in Excel too often anymore.
Yes, it's a very powerful one. That one I'm not very good at. I didn't
I used to
expect
be great at it and I
that
loved it. Now I'm like, I wouldn't know what I'm doing in Excel anymore. I've become so rusty.
one. Nice. Yeah, I'm with you. Very powerful. I was going to say most of the skills you mentioned, they were people skills, like
Mm.
understanding people and listening to them, reading verbal and like behavioral cues. That's interesting. We have Excel as one that is a bit
It's
tool-based.
an actual tool. Yeah. 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 I feel like when you're a leader, it's a lot about your people. And
Mm,
especially when you're a leader of leaders, a leader of managers as well, like it becomes your people skills becomes more important, even more important, I think.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
now that we talked about this, I have a tough question for you. So, during my career, I've realized some leaders are all about work, some leaders are all about people. Sometimes these two might conflict, like the pressure, tight deadline. If you take care of people, work might suffer, or the other way around. So, how do you balance that?
Case by case. I don't have a perfect recipe for this one, but I think I will always lean towards the people
Mhm,
side of things over the work side of things. If you want people to work for you, to follow you, to work hard for you, you've got to have, like, I would definitely over index on the
mhm,
people side of things. And I would take the hit for my team any day
mhm,
rather than managing up. Like,
mhm.
that's not me. That's
Yeah.
not my leadership style. So I'm all about the people, because when you look after your team and they trust you, to look after them, you'll get the best out of them, and they will stay with you for years. Like, they will work hard for you and they'll put in that extra mile. And I feel like you reap the better rewards
Mhm.
as that type of leader. Now, I'm not everyone's like that, and other
Yeah.
people operate very differently. But for me, I feel like that that's the biggest reward, is seeing my people
Yeah,
shine.
100%. I totally agree with you. I love the part you said. When you look after them, they go that extra mile for you. 100%. I felt that the same throughout my career, working with different leadership styles.
Yeah, you're not going to put in that extra mile, right, if you don't
If
think that
they're not
your
looking
manager has
after
your
me,
back.
hmm,
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, yeah.
exactly right. Have you ever had to adjust your communication as a leader, the way the style or yeah, anything communication?
Absolutely. And I feel like the more senior you get, the more communication and presentation style, and um, the more important it becomes. If that's not something you're good at and you want to be a leader, like, you've got to work on that. You've
Mhm,
absolutely got to figure out if you're going to invest the time and work on that as a skill. Um, the way you communicate as a leader, both down and up, you do so much talking. It's so incredibly important to be able to communicate to your team and equally communicate up and across as well. And when you think about communicating up and across, often you have very little time to get your message across and get buy-in or get their support. You've got to be crisp, you've got to be engaging, you've got to be good at storytelling. All of these things become incredibly important, more so than the actual work itself. Is that how you communicate up and out, but then also how you communicate with your team. I recently had the privilege to go to attend a course with Naomi Robson. She used to be a presenter on the 7:30 news report or some one of those. Today Tonight it might have been. She was like a reporter on that for 10 years. It was fabulous. It was so good. If you ever get the chance to go on the courses that she runs around presenting, it opens your eyes up to all of the little one percenters, she refers to them as, around how to become like a brilliant presenter. There are so many different little tools and tips and tricks around how you stand, use of your hands, all of these sorts of things. What a good PowerPoint presentation looks like, the power of three. If you want people to take away messages, never put more than 3 or 4 messages in it. There's so many good tools and tips and tricks out there on how to communicate clearly and effectively, and practice as well. But absolutely, this is the thing I think I've had to work on and will continue to work on until the day I die. You're never done when it comes to honing your presentation skills.
Good one. I love that. I'm going to look into that. It's
It
very
is great.
100%. It's very
One of the best
important.
courses I've ever attended, like really practical, hands-on.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for that.
Uncomfortable, but really good.
Oh, that's really good. That was a really good one. This is an interesting one. Is there a part of your life or identity that became harder as your career progressed?
For me, no. But I could see why some people would think that they need to change a part of themselves or their identity as they progress in their career, depending on the different feedback that they receive or aspirations that they have. I had a moment in my career, it would be like 15 years ago now, before I was a leader, before I was a manager, I was just a team member. And I was like, I am my best when I am myself, when I'm being me.
Right.
And so, and trying to be something that I'm not is actually exhausting. It
Yeah.
drains my energy. And I realized that it was like, that's not me. I need to just be myself. And if you don't like me for who I am, I'm not meant to be here.
Yeah.
And somebody else will like me for who I am. So it was like my big moment was be true to yourself, be
Yeah.
real, be authentic, be
That's
truthful.
fun.
And that, yeah, I was like, I can't be something that I'm not, because it actually drains my energy out of me.
Yeah, 100%.
Hard
I
work.
like that part you said about um being authentic. Like otherwise, yeah, that part suffers and yeah, just
People can see through you as well when you're
real.
not being authentic. Yeah. And so then
100%.
you lose that trust
Yeah,
sometimes if you're not being real.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
That's a big one. Mm.
What leadership costs you?
Oh
Has
my
cost you?
goodness. It will be no surprise to many, many people. It's cost me time with my family,
Oh,
and my kids, definitely. But you've got to make choices, right? You go, what am I gonna is work more important? Is family more important? And how do you spread your time? And you make choices on a daily basis of, am I going to do that extra hour at work, or am I going to go home and spend that with my family? And I often, right or wrong, choose work over
hmm.
family. But the consequence of that is that I've not spent nearly as much time as I would like to, but I make that choice. That's on me.
Yeah.
Um, so that's probably been the most difficult thing. I think the other thing is I've missed out on Mother's Day catch-ups at school, or doing the reading at school with my kids, or giving back, volunteering in the community, or, being the coach for the kids. I've been team manager, but those are the sorts of things that you sometimes trade off in it, but it is totally up to you, and you've got to make those choices and decide what's
Yeah.
more important. And I've only got myself to blame if I'm not happy with it.
But looking at the positive aspects of it, they see you and they see, learn how hard work, being a hard work person, like, is important. And
And can pay
um,
off.
yeah,
Yeah, it can
exactly.
pay
And it
off. You can
pays
get
off.
places.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
100%. There is a
Yeah.
different message in there, which is still a good one. All right. So I was reading some statistics, and apparently in Australia, women make up about half of the workforce, but only around 20% become CEOs. So there's something there that's not working. In your opinion, where exactly do you think women get stuck to get to that high leadership positions?
This is a great question. And I actually don't know the answer, but I'll give you my opinion on where I think it could be based on my personal situation as well. I think drive can be one, like ambition.
Mhm,
Not all of us are as ambitious as the other, and some of us are happy to not progress that far
mhm,
compared to men, perhaps. I think personal circumstances plays a big part in it as well. And that the female raising the children, and sometimes that sets them back in their career, and so therefore it's harder to get to that level by the time you're ready to retire.
yeah.
I think is a big one, and I've been really fortunate. My husband has been more of the stay at home dad, whereas I've been more the career
Mm,
person. So I've been afforded that luxury of being able to focus on my career. But I think the big one for me, and I think a lot of this would resonate with a lot of women, would be belief that you can do it.
mm,
I certainly suffer from imposter syndrome,
yeah.
and a lack of belief that I am good enough and that I can do the job, which is why when we talked about earlier about those pivotal moments in your career, having that leader that believed in you and backed in you and believed that you were better than what you thought you were,
Mhm,
is sometimes the push and the nudge that you need to go, well, actually, I could do this. I could go further. I could do more.
yeah.
I could be a leader. So that for me is probably the biggest one, is that belief that in yourself that you can do it and you can go that far, and then to go after it.
Right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. That's a good one. It's all in our head, isn't it? And as soon as that boundary is passed, you're like, oh, more is possible.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
True. What's a piece of advice given to women about leadership or career that you disagree with?
Oh, this one's easy. Um, that you can balance work and life. No, you can't. No,
I
you
love
absolutely cannot.
that.
You do your best and you make choices, but there
Yeah.
is no such thing as work-life balance. It's always tipping further one way or the other. Yeah, no, no such thing.
It
And
can
I
be
think
maybe. Sorry, you go.
once I realized that, it was like, oh, good, because I'm trying to balance both and it's not working. So
Yes,
yeah, and just
I
accept that and
justify.
go, okay, and I'll take each day as it comes and balance it as it goes.
Maybe when you look at it overall within 10 years, it balances out
Maybe,
that way, maybe, but
maybe. Yeah. But again, it comes down to the choices we make, right? What's more important? And whichever thing that you choose that is more important, well, there will be trade-offs, right? On work or life.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just
That's right.
making
And
sure.
I think accepting that is important. You take that pressure off yourself because it's an
100%.
unjustified expectation to be able to be everything, everybody, at the same time.
So true. Well said, right? You can't be everything to everyone. And the moment that you realize that and accept it,
Mm,
um, yeah, you'll feel better. You'll feel less stressed and less anxious about not being able to please everyone, or that you're doing a bad job of one or the other,
yeah.
as well. Mm.
100%. I've been enjoying our conversation. Coming toward the end, I do like it, but I have two more questions for you. Thinking about future, how do you see leadership evolve in the next 5 or 10 years?
It's a really interesting question. And I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm very much, I tend to live more in the present and don't stress too much about the future. You've got to think about the future, but I don't spend too much time in that space, which might be, not a good thing. It could be a detrimental thing maybe sometimes. But what I can say is I think AI is going to change the world for everyone, right? And undoubtedly it will change the world for leadership as well. What that looks like, how it takes shape, how that evolves, I don't know. I'm on for the ride. Let's see how it pans out and what happens. And we adapt and we evolve and we change as those sorts of technologies come in. But I think AI is probably the biggest thing that's going to change how we lead. But how that transpires, we will wait and see.
Take it as it comes. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's very much me. Take it as
It's
it
a
comes.
good
Don't
one,
stress
actually.
too much.
The more it goes, the more I understand the actual meaning of it. Take it as it comes. Like there's left and right these days, we are seeing change. And if you want to stress about it before it actually happens, you just exhaust yourself. You just need to wait.
Exactly.
See.
Yeah, let it come. And just be open. Got to be open to change. Don't be change resistant. Be open to it and go, how am I going to navigate through this particular change? But I also think like if you think too far forward, I'll leave that for the experts that are really good at that. But I think if you think too far forward, it might not even turn out the way that you think it might. And then
Exactly. You worried for no reason.
exactly. Yeah.
100%. One last one. In banking, specifically, what's going to change in how customers are onboarded and served in the future? Again, thinking of 5, 10 years from now.
Yeah. Oh, and 10 years, wow. 10 years, who knows? Like technology is moving at
Ooh.
such a rapid rate at the moment. You
Mm,
go 5 years, you can probably see
mm,
it's all underpinned by AI, right? And agentic
yeah.
AI. And it's an absolute game changer in terms of how it's going to help make the lives of our customers and our colleagues easier. Conversational onboarding. So no
Mm,
longer do you go in and you've probably thought about this too, Farah. No
yeah.
longer do you go in and fill in a
In
form,
a
this field,
form.
this field, this field. It's more of a conversation. And as you're
Mm,
having the conversation, it's filling in the
mm,
details in the background. And so it feels less transactional and more personal, I
yeah.
hope, is where it goes. Um, and through that, a lot more automation. And so for our colleagues, there's more that an agent can do for them. And so like onboarding is it can be highly labor intensive, particularly for business customers, for complex structures. So if we can simplify that, make it less onerous, make it less heavy lifting, and take some of that burden away, um, that would be amazing. And again, I think we can unlock that through AI and agentic. And actually, watch this space. We've got some cool stuff that we're about to start working on. But yeah, I think that's going to be a game changer for us. Is how we really unlock the value of AI in how we onboard customers. I think is super exciting. The
Yeah.
potential that holds. Yeah,
Make people
but so many things we can do. It's going to be time and money that are our enemy in this part.
True.
How much can we get done with the money and time that we've got? Hmm.
That's 100% right. Thank you so much, Ange. I enjoyed the conversation thoroughly. Thank you for your time.
Likewise, thank you, Farah. It's been lovely. Been lovely chatting
Thanks.
to you.
Chat
Awesome.
to you later.
Will
Bye.
do. Bye.